Well, this is funny. It shows us as live, but I can't see the video. So we are live, but it's just showing an orange box for video.
Well, that's cool.
So let me see if I can fix that real quick. Stand by, everybody. Well, it shouldn't be doing whatever it's doing. I'm just going to wait to make sure this is working. It worked fine last week, so. Oh, I think I got it. Let's try this. Bear with us, folks. Hold on.
We listen to awkward silence.
We'll get started in, I don't know, a second here. I don't know if that's going to do the trick or not.
Play with the cam link cable.
There we go.
Readjust your mic.
My gosh. Okay. I think we should just be about good here. Technology, my friends.
I love technology.
Here we go.
Where to Hunt podcast. It's okay. It's okay.
Hi, I'm Dan Small, host of Outdoor Wisconsin, and I listen to Where to Hunt.
Man, it's okay.
I'm Kurt Geyer with Working Class Bow Hunter. I listen to Where to Hunt podcast, and it's decent.
It's all right.
Hey, this is Bud Fisher with Catching Deers, and I think the Where to Hunt podcast is all right.
Hey, what up, everybody? Welcome to the Where to Hunt podcast, the podcast that has technical issues every week.
Technical issues and decent booze.
That's right. This is the okayest podcast in the Midwest, coming at you from the Okayest Hunter podcast studio. Head on over to okayesthunter.com, and you can use code W2H podcast for 10% off. Boom. Also, please check out Fleet Farm. Head on over to fleetfarm.com. Our discount code just expired, so we got to get that one renewed. So stand by, but we still like us some Fleet Farm. Backwoodsgrind.com. You can use code W2H podcast for 10% off. Go ahead and play our Backwoods Grind ad, one of our favorites.
Wake up and smell the coffee. Backwoods Grind coffee, that is. Now, this ain't your fancy schmancy city boy coffee. This is what your grandpappy used to drink. And lucky enough for you loaf around slack asses, they got a subscription service. Deliver any of their 6 blends right to your door, even a sampler. I like the Fireside blend, nice and dark. But they got something to suit every one of your tastes, light to dark and everything in between. Backwoods Grind coffee for those who work hard and play harder.
W2. Oh. Okay. We'll edit that in post.
Oh, my God.
All right. Hey, if you haven't heard of Spartan Forge, you're missing out. You're living under a rock. Head on over to spartanforge.ai. Use code W2H for 20%. Well, 20% off? No, 20% off. And if for those that don't know now, Spartan Forge, because they're a technology, AI, machine learning business, they are helping us with our technology, and they are officially sponsoring our call-in number, which is 262-757-4122, and our latest, newest, greatest video chat call-in. So for those watching on Facebook, I just posted a link in chat, and if you want to pop in and video, hang out with us, you can pop in, and it's brought to you by SpartanForge.ai. What's up, Gregor?
Oh, you know, living a dream, one nightmare at a time.
No crap. You're in my nightmare.
No, I'm in your rodeo, and I'm just the clown.
Oh, boy. Yeah, we've been having some fun putting out some Okayest Hunter content.
Yeah,
That's
we certainly have.
Been a hoot. The I Can't Stack the Sticks video. There's so much more to come.
No, there's a bunch of stuff coming. I mean,
Your donut thing, which I think was a bit of the topic last week.
oh yeah, always is. I mean, that was my acting debut right there. Donut clip on the tailgate.
That was good. Hey, make sure you forget to, grab a donut. Forget your bow so you can come back.
You got to forget a piece of gear so you can come back and get another donut.
What are the other ones that we posted? I don't remember.
I just posted the newest Stevie Mo video.
Oh, that's right. Stevie Mo is here now. That's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
So Stevie Mo is a friend of ours. We asked him for some comedic tips, and he's like, "Out of hell with it. I'll just drive up there." So
And he did. He drove up here and kind of hung out with us for a little bit, and we put together a few things, and it was fun.
It was fun. That was the important part. Is just honestly, it was a bunch of goofing around.
It was a bunch of goofing around. There was no script involved. It was just here, go with it. Okay, Here we are. It's easy enough to do.
Yeah, it was fun.
Just have fun with it. That's what it's supposed to be about, right? Anything in life should be fun. If it's not, well, maybe it's time to reevaluate.
It's time to reevaluate some things. Shout out to Drop Tine Spirits, by the way. I don't know, for those that heard, I was pouring up some Drop Tine 12-point bourbon.
Bourbon hunting.
There it is, the 12-point bourbon.
The ultimate trophy right there.
I feel bad because I don't talk about their other stuff. They also have a vodka and they have that moonshine, but this is the only one I drink.
Mm-hmm. No, the moonshine's good. It's a nice nightcap. It's a little sweeter.
Would you mix that with something?
No, straight up, maybe on the rocks. That's it.
All right.
I would not mix it.
Well, I have some of that in the garage, chilled out. So maybe next week.
Vodka belongs in
A Bloody
other
Mary or
drinks.
something.
Yeah, and I don't know if you're a vodka drinker, it probably might be sacrilege to mix it with other stuff.
Really? Well, I don't know. Their vodka, I've had it straight because I wanted to taste, because it's corn vodka, so to taste it. But yeah, I mean, I'm not drinking a lot of vodkas by itself.
No.
So for me, vodka is one of those invisible alcohols you can put in basically anything.
Lighter fluid, gasoline, jet fuel, whatever.
It's not, you don't drink it because it tastes good. You drink it because it gets you drunk.
Right.
Yeah.
If you're into that.
The enhancement is alcohol. That's the enhancement.
Right.
Enhance.
Enhance.
So the season is over. You've hunted a total of 21 sits.
21 sits. Quality over quantity. Or quantity over quality.
Hold on, let's talk about this real quick.
No. It was definitely quantity over quality. But I eliminated a bunch of places I know I won't waste time in. I kind of spread out and maybe spread myself too thin. Maybe should have picked away at 2 other spots in particular a little more. But no regrets. I got 2 deer. I didn't get a buck.
Did you have eyes on any bucks this season at all? Did you see any bucks on stand other than the 5-pointer we saw with Heller?
Not on stand. I bumped one while I was scouting with my bow in my hand. So, and that's not included in one of the 21 sits. That was 21 sits. So it was 21 outings with a stand and sticks on my back, or my little swamp seat that I took in. So that wasn't counting the one I bumped in gun season either, because that really wasn't a sit. That was I'm going to take my gun for a walk and go scouting.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look, there he is, and off and running.
So you were in the right place, just maybe at the wrong time. Well, kind of the right time.
The right time, but not expecting it. And just as luck would have it, there was a big 9-pointer in one spot and that massive 12-pointer in another. I'm happy I got to see him. It's kind of a bummer I didn't get a shot at him, but I saw 2 really nice bucks.
Mm-hmm.
And then the one that you took a swing at, I had pretty good inventory of him. I had a lot of footage of him. The buck we affectionately call Pancake.
What's that movie with Will Ferrell? Ricky, what's in your hand? Pancake. Is it Ricky?
If it's Ricky, that
I
it's
think
got to be Talladega Nights.
No. Oh yeah, there's that one. But then what's the basketball one?
Oh,
All-Star
or yeah, it might be. I've not seen every.
Oh yeah, don't eat that Pancake. That's what I think of every time now.
Well, either way, he was probably a good 3-year-old, heavy, tall 8-pointer, and he got hit. He got hit on the road. He was chasing does, and I know a couple of people that had seen him, and they came and told me about him. I'm like,
So
yeah,
Pancake got smushed like a pancake.
he got whacked pretty good. Somebody cut his antlers off, and then they ditched him in one of Dave's fields. So
Sure.
it's too bad. But
That's too bad.
yeah, we had chances, didn't capitalize on them. Whoop-de-doo. Next year. And I know for a fact that 12-pointer survived. I don't know about the 9. The 9 was definitely a heavier body and had very heavy horns, but he's not as big as that 12-pointer as far as like width is concerned.
Yeah,
So,
the width on that one's
ridiculous.
pretty awesome.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's an awesome deer. So I know I got one real good one that survived. We know the big one that you saw, I'm pretty confident the big one that you saw behind the farm, that one, I'm fairly confident one of the landowners in the surrounding area got.
Okay.
And that was a pretty impressive deer. So we know where to find deer now during the rut for sure after experiencing that. I know where to find a good deer, at least this year. I got to believe with the sign I've seen in that spot, when the gun pressure is on, I know where deer are going to move to now. So it's just a learning experience. File it away in the memory banks. Hey, when the pressure's on, go to this spot, check it out. Bring the shotgun next time because you're not getting a shot with a rifle.
Right. We know where to go early season. We know where to go mid season.
Yeah, and that was hot.
I know where to go late season.
We found that spot where we put you, and you took a stab at that buck, and the sign was hot. He had scrapes all worked up in there. We had video footage of him, and we knew he was there. It just, didn't quite capitalize on it.
Do you think? What was I going to say? Damn it. Well, I don't remember. I had a great question queued up there.
Scotch, have another drink.
Yeah, let's try that.
Okay. Take 2. Still didn't help.
No.
Maybe you need more.
I was going to ask you if you think, but we all know, I
try not to think too hard.
Right.
Sometimes overthinking it really, really kind of defeats the purpose of it. You overthink it and you second guess yourself.
I remembered the question.
And yeah.
Do you think you learn more about that property this year than any other year, or do you think it's like a compounding cumulative effect? And
it's definitely compounding because I've thrown a lot of scouting at that property, but I think I maybe put 2 sits in.
Mm-hmm.
This year I put more sits in and did even more scouting. And then I know of another, you break this into blocks, we'll call it 1,000-acre property. I know what blocks I want to key in on and what ones I don't even want to waste my time anymore because I've seen the human sign. I found trees that somebody's got limbed out. Definitely can tell there's a trail beat through the cattails going right to it.
Mm-hmm.
He's still got his bow hanger hanging in there. I'm not even going to waste my time. You can definitely tell the deer are working around that because the trail system I'm used to seeing deer use going through that area, it's kind of dried up. It's not being as heavily pounded.
We had plenty of snow to give you some fresh sign.
Yep.
So you've been studying that. I mean, that's one of the biggest benefits probably of late season. Even if you're not getting something, now look at all the fresh sign you're getting and all the new intel.
I was hoping for maybe one more doe to kind of cap off the freezer a little bit, but it didn't quite happen. So I used that time to gain some more knowledge about 2 different spots. And then I got another spot. I got more than one. I've got probably 4 different spots I want to go check out.
Okay.
So in the next coming weeks, I'm going to start looking at those. And then maybe do a little ice fishing, maybe try to get out and rabbit hunt.
When do you think sheds are going to start dropping? I mean, it's every year. It's the same. I mean,
typically
seasonal, cyclical kind of thing that happens, right? So when are you looking
Valentine's Day was always like the day. I mean, as a kid, I remember, I don't know if I read it in a magazine or a newspaper or what. It was like Valentine's Day is like the time to start looking. But I've seen deer lose antlers sooner than that now.
Yeah, I've seen some folks sharing pictures of trail cam photos where it was like, half rack.
Yep.
So one's dropped.
Mm-hmm. And And I've seen bucks out, late December, early January, if the weather's really bitter cold and a lot of snow. We've had a decent amount of snow. We haven't had a ton of bitter cold, but that's coming.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I would say right around December on, they start losing them. But the majority of the bucks, and I've seen bucks holding on into March. And I remember scouting a couple of years ago, scouting behind the farm, and I bumped up 2 bucks. I swear to God, they were twins. They were both identical 8-pointers,
Mhm.
just inside the ears.
No, every
perfectly.
antler it's like a fingerprint of a human, so they're
Right.
perfectly identical.
Well, but from the distance I saw them from,
Yeah.
they were pretty darn close. But end of March, they were still hanging on to both sides.
Wow.
And
Wow.
those were probably
'Cause that-
1.5, 2-year-old deer. They weren't very, very old.
My understanding that they start to grow them in April.
Mhm.
So that's
literally as soon as those as soon as they eject the horns or get rid of their antlers, things heal up and then they start regenerating all over again.
Okay. Here's one that, so I didn't relay this to you well enough, but I had a topic that I kind of wanted to flesh out a little bit, and it's a little bit of like how deer traverse a certain area. And with some of the intel that you've been collecting now that there's snow, this is the time to go kind of gather some that are after any fresh snowfall. But
It is.
like, and you just mentioned they're going around a certain way or a certain trail dried up. So, and you can like, this is a stupid thing that I just learned last year to consider. I would see deer tracks. And I thought, oh, there's deer tracks. There's a trail. But like, what's the predominant direction of those hoofs?
Right.
Where they, like, it shows you where maybe they're using it for both directions. So maybe you're not going to be able to discern that. But,
and you might, if you find a heavily used trail that they're going in both directions, that tells me that the property doesn't have a lot of pressure on it.
Mhm.
They feel comfortable going in and out of it regardless, but they're not throwing all caution to the wind. Everything is done for a reason and a purpose.
Mhm.
So they're always going to come, they're going to go where they know human presence is.
1 second. Here we go. Okay. All right. Sorry about that.
And we're back.
My 1-year-old unplugged the router. If it's not one thing, it is literally the other.
Well, whatever works, right?
Yeah. Sorry about that, folks. We're back. Greg was talking about how deer traverse terrain. I have no idea where we lost you guys.
Yeah, who knows? But yeah, I mean, deer use the terrain always to their benefit.
Mhm.
You know.
Well, okay, so you had shared the video of like the deer walking out on your boot prints. Like these animals are creatures of the edge, A.
Yep.
And then B, they take the path of least resistance. They're not too dissimilar from us. They're not going to try to work harder. You know, they can slip through cover quickly, but
no, they can slip through cover quickly, and they can, like, where those deer slipped out, there was essentially 3 different edges they could have taken.
Mhm.
The outer edge, and then there was more than that. Outer edge, an inner edge, another edge on the other side of that, because there was a little finger of grass, and then there was another strip of timber, and then another edge.
Okay.
Or they could have went all the way around where I thought they might go, because that's where I saw them last. And it turns out they decided to go the easy route after I'd seen them 200 yards out.
Mhm.
So they literally walked right past same tree that I killed the doe out of in November. Had I decided to hunt there as a creature of habit, which I don't, I would have had a chance at one.
So maybe you should have.
Maybe I should have. You know, I'm the only one out there. There's tracks everywhere throughout all the snow. I mean, I think you saw the video of me where I crossed. They had literally just been there early that morning, because there was still mud from the creek when they climbed up the embankment, spread all over the snow where they had shook off and everything. Fresh prints in the mud. They had been there not that long ago. You know, hours, early morning hours. So they are always a creature of edge. So whether you're hunting a ridge, hunting a marsh or a swamp, if you got some sort of edge, you can almost guarantee that there's going to be a deer trail there. That's a great starting point. Start from there and then start following some of those trails.
Well, you told me this season, you know, if you're going in somewhere, wherever you think you're going to go further.
Yeah.
And I didn't. I did, but then I didn't. I was like, I went in far, and then I was like stopped, and then I thought, because I thought they were going to come through that edge and work their way out, and I thought I wanted enough time for them to get into that space, one of those fingers, the wooded fingers, and I thought if I got too close to the other edge, I would be at this intersection, and I wouldn't have enough time to react based on the wind, because I wasn't sure which way they're going to be coming from east versus south, but I knew for sure they were going to head, whatever, let's just say it was west, or actually it was east. So I didn't know if they're going to come north, south, and then take this trail east. I knew they were going to take it east, but I didn't know which, intersecting point they were going to come from. Turns out I was right. I was just on the wrong finger.
Right.
Unfortunately.
You needed to be one more past that one opening and into the next finger, and you'd have been money.
Yep. So that's a hard thing to think about when sign looks so good. I was like, this is a scrape, this is a fresh rub, this is tracks.
There was so much sign in there.
There was a ton of sign.
And it was fresh sign.
Yep.
And historically, every time I've gone into that spot, and I've been hunting that spot since it opened up. Every time I go in there, there's always good sign. So you have a 50-50 chance. And I think those odds are pretty good.
Yeah. Right. Because
I always see something. I've never skunked. I always see something in that spot. Either it's off in the distance or it's in shooting distance.
Yep.
It's a win. That's a good spot.
Yeah, seeing deer is a win. Like, don't get it twisted, folks. As far as I'm concerned, seeing a deer is the win for me. Right. Bonus is having an opportunity at the deer. Double bonus is shooting the deer. Triple bonus is killing that deer. Because God knows I've had a double bonus where I've shot and missed. Yeah.
I'm just trying to think what my odds were out of 21 sits. It's less than half. Less than half of them I saw deer. But I was in good sign. I thought it was good sign.
Okay.
Good tracks, rubs, scrapes not far away, all tore up. You're not going to win them every time, folks. It's just the way it is.
Yep. Totally true.
That's why you call it hunting, not killing. And it's kind of cliche because everybody says it, but it's the truth.
Well, it isn't killing unless you kill. It's hunting every time you go.
Yep.
And there's a lot of folks that say scouting is hunting. I've heard two big time folks say this, Eberhart and Infault, have
Right.
literally said, in fact, on the Vitals Live is where I've heard them say this. Scouting is hunting. It's a very interesting
hunt.
Mm-hmm.
And this year I didn't do it as much, where I just kind of had a spot in my mind and I'm just going to go there and I'm going to put the time in and see what shows up. It didn't always pay off.
Mm-hmm.
Years past, I've done it where I scout and I don't even pull the stand off my back. It just, this isn't what I wanted to see, or this isn't what I was hoping to see, or this area isn't as good as I thought it was. Is it worth a sit? The sign doesn't always give it all away. It's a good indicator, but it's not. I've sat on plenty of spots with good sign, what I deemed as good sign, and nothing showed. Maybe the deer was there already. Maybe he was there last night and he decided to work a different edge of the property. And you've looked at
so it's hard
of
when
this.
you're in like the area we were talking about. Let's just think of it as 1 mile by 1 mile to give everyone like a square, right?
Yeah.
But if you're hunting that bottom corner, you're still in the vicinity. You're still in the area where there's hot sign. The deer are there, but they're just maybe the opposite end of the property or something.
When you see how thick that stuff is too.
It's hard.
And there's a million places for them to bed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, how many decent tamarack trees are out there? Quite a few.
Yeah, quite a few. Right.
And there's high spots for them. This looks like a good spot to bed. You know, maybe they heard something over in one area and they decided they didn't like it. Or they caught a whiff of a human walking by on a hiking trail.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, I'm good over here. I'm better off over here. Or they heard the duck hunter blasting over there. You know, they pinball and they can pick up and move 100 yards into another piece of the tamarack swamp or off into the cattails or wherever they want to go, bed down and be perfectly safe and nobody knows they're there.
Yep.
Not a clue.
It's awesome. I was watching Secret Life of Whitetails, which somehow I have on my Amazon Prime or something. I don't know how it showed up or where it came from. I watched this thing and I'm watching it because this is a video that was done from a non-hunting perspective. This was a hunter giving his opinion on how to kill deer. This was a research person like documenting the behaviors and the seasonality of a whitetail.
Interesting.
And it talked about, it started with birth and like does giving birth to fawns and how they feed them and what's in the milk and like how long the birthing process lasts. The doe apparently takes like 4 to 7 hours to give birth to a fawn. It looked pretty painful. It talks about the scent and like the fact that the doe is never out of earshot, and then eventually gets into like, the bachelor groups of bucks and the seasonality of how they find their food, how they're marking scent with their glands, what the glands are called. I learned that they do this thing with their lip where they like open it. They open their lip and they put the scent of the doe to the roof of its mouth. And that will help it determine how close she is to estrus.
Yeah, it's a palate. So
it was
just like you taste in bourbon.
Yep. That's right.
You're supposed to taste bourbon. You swish around, take a breath with your mouth open. You can taste it differently. It'll taste different if you just put it in your mouth and swallow it.
That's right. I just did it.
There you go.
But so I'm watching this and it's talking about like how they'll traverse things and where they're going to bed and the fact that they'll return to the same bedding area. And if that buck doesn't make it, then another buck will find that area because it's like pretty obvious for them to get to these areas where they can become safe.
Everything works in their favor. The
sense,
thermals,
oh my God,
the way the wind blows, how things swirl around in there. Does it have a security system like water or, a lot of dense vegetation that'll make noise when something comes through, like a human. Yeah, everything's in their favor.
Yeah, like so much stuff. Cody Tejas, I'm gonna have to watch that. I would recommend it. I guess I think maybe there's probably like 10 more minutes left in it that I didn't get to watch because the kids interrupted it. Maybe my son turned off the router. But it was just one of those things where you're watching this, and it's for me. I like to just see deer in the wild. I like to study them because I like to learn more about how they interact and like what they're doing in certain terrain, like and it's showing a lot of footage of these deer bucks, big ones, bedded on hills. And they'll see a coyote come by and they're up, they're stomping, to give warning before they take off quietly. If a human comes by, it's showing that footage too. And these things are so freaking well fortified. It made me feel better about being a hunter because it's so effing hard to kill them. Think about being born in the woods. All you've ever known and heard are crows and squirrels and sounds. The intimacy you have of the forest as one of these creatures, of every routine that the neighbors have of cutting their grass, leaving for work, all of this stuff, these deer know what the hell is going on. They're so hard to hunt. And then you throw on top of it the fact that they see with their effing nose to a level that we can literally not even comprehend.
Nope, not even close.
The fact that they can identify which deer is leaving a certain scent behind is mind-blowing. They know that it was Susie Doe or John the Buck. They freaking know exactly which deer is where. So when you think you're doing these scent things and you're putting down synthetics, they're like, this ain't a deer that I know.
Right.
And so if you're going to do that kind of stuff, you better be laying that scent down all damn season long. So they're like, oh, this deer is here. We know this deer, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
But if you do it the day you go out there, they're like hunter scent, deer scent. Nope, no dice. That's where you're going to get blown out by these does, by these bucks. They're not going to come around.
Nope, they know the difference.
It's blowing my mind. So anyway, yeah, it definitely makes me feel better about being a hunter because shit's not easy.
Nope, sure isn't.
Not at all.
There's plenty of people out there that make it look easy. They're real good at it. They've got a knack. They're better at it than we are.
Yep.
Takes all kinds to make the world go round.
Oh boy. I don't know. So I'm just whatever. I'm fixated on the terrain navigation, how they're going to navigate that, because as we know, the buck that I did get, we've told the story several times now, but I was able to assess the terrain and look at the edges and determine where they might be bedding. And all of those assumptions were correct, but they weren't just assumptions. It was calculated guesses based on everything I've learned. It was
a confidence level that you had. Okay. You've been tagging along with me all year. You went solo on this one and you took whatever little you did learn from me or just from seeing some things and maybe feeling more confident about what you were seeing and going, yep, this looks like a good spot. I feel pretty good about sitting in this spot.
Yep.
What's the worst can happen? I don't see anything. Well, that's happened before. The outcome's not that grim.
Right.
Let's go with it.
Yeah, who cares? I mean, whatever. But it took all of 20 minutes to see something come through. And he followed the script.
He did.
It was pretty beautiful. And the script did involve me being in a spot where the wind was not going to compromise me.
Yeah. Not
even a little bit. So you talk about confidence. When you're able to read the land, understand where they're going to bed, how they're going to traverse it, and know that you're in favor of the wind, then scent didn't matter at all. I was sweated up bad. I was dripping sweat. I was hot as hell. I busted ass to get out there. I threw the stand 1 stick high, dicking around in this tree, trying to get around branches, chopping stuff. I'm still breathing heavy. I don't even have my bow totally set up yet. And then this thing shows up and I'm like, oh my gosh, I am so, he had not even a single clue. The biggest lesson learned is I should have stopped him. I should have mapped him or something.
Yeah.
Give me the old map. Maps ain't just for muskies, folks.
That's right.
They're for deer too.
And trout.
And pike.
Yeah.
And deer.
Whatever wants to eat.
Map. I feel like that should go on a shirt. Maps aren't just for muskies.
You got to get a little more creative with it than that.
I'm pretty stupid, so I don't know. That was I put that design out there a couple weeks ago of give them the old snort wheeze. Everyone liked the first one. I couldn't believe it. That was the one that won.
Well,
the Where to Hunt logo right in the middle.
It answers your question right there.
So we got Alex Plew in the comments here. He's tending to some salmon on the Pit Boss.
Nice.
Levi Carey, what up, what up? Hey, guys, if you have a chance, there is a link at the top of the comments, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube. You can go ahead and click that and pop in on our video feed and chat with us. We're talking about how deer navigate terrain in the end of the season and, I don't know, deer scent, apparently, and MEPs, but not the kind to catch fish. If I would have stopped that deer, I'd have had a better shot on it. But that being said, that better shot may not have been a kill shot. So it all worked out the way it worked out. But that is the one thing that's haunting me about that freaking deer. And so I still feel like I didn't totally get it, even though I got it.
Well, now you know what you have to practice on.
Mm-hmm.
You have to shoot your bow a little more.
Shoot it cockeyed, shoot it through branches.
Shoot it elevated.
Break yourself.
Yeah, you have to do a little more next year to get more confident.
Even
with
in
it.
season. Yeah, I threw up a stand in my backyard and started flinging arrows. My wife thought I was crazy. She thought the neighbors would think I was crazy. I was like, I don't care. This is what I got to do.
Right.
Let them think what they want. Who gives a shit?
I'm lucky I have my mother-in-law's place that I can go set up a stand and shoot all different kinds of elevation. I mean, she's on an oak ridge, so I can shoot up elevation, down elevation.
Mm-hmm.
I can do a lot of different shooting.
That's right. Yeah, you are kind of lucky with that.
Very, very
you
lucky.
got a garden out there.
Yeah.
When are you going to buy that place? That's what I want to know.
No, I am not buying that place. It's not happening.
Damn it, Greg. Oh, shoot. So, nope, we have Kyle's in the call queue, I think. Nope. I don't see you in there, Kyle. You know, it might not be working because my son unplugged the router. So, Kyle, if you're hearing this, click the link in our chat instead, because I am not seeing you in the call queue for some reason. So that's interesting. That's never happened. It is open, so I'm there. I'm not seeing you. 262-757-4122. I'm gonna send a message to Kyle, guys, so bear with me. He's trying to get in. 262-757-4122. Okay. Yeah, Shane, thanks for watching on YouTube. My son unplugged the router. Classic Eric move. Shane knows I like to just totally make a shit show of everything. And now he's here to rub my face in it. By the way, Shane, who's commenting on YouTube, has a great YouTube channel. Nothing about deer hunting at all, though. But he is one hell of a grill master. On his, I forget what it is. It's a competitor to the Green Egg. It's called the Komodo or something.
Yep.
Yeah, which is also not cheap.
No,
like the Green Egg is really expensive, and then the Komodo is like supposed to be less. No,
they weigh a ton.
No,
it's a concrete grill.
It's nuts.
Yeah, it's a beast.
I don't know why I'm not seeing him in the call. That's not okay. Darn it. You know, we're definitely connected there. So,
have you given any thought to doing some more scouting out where you gun hunt in hill country?
You know what's funny is Clayton, who is in Michigan, he's from here, but he's in Michigan, and he's might as well be from Michigan these days. But he got up there 2 days early and scouted, and he put himself on that buck that he shot, which was a beautiful buck.
That's a dandy buck.
Beautiful buck. And if it had the time to grow another year, it would have been magnificent.
Yeah.
It
had a lot of mass
character, just a big body deer. It's like 200 some freaking pounds. He like killed himself trying to drag it out of there. So I'm super proud of him for that. And I still actually don't know specifically where the hell he got it. So he went in there and got into his own area, right? Right under our noses and figured out. So, you know, I think some of the areas that you and I were looking at, I know there's lots of bucks there. There's lots of bucks around.
And there's
not a lot of big ones.
There's a fair amount of land in there too.
Yeah. So no, I've thought about it. I've scouted the whole entire park, but that was just to like get a lay of the land. Like with my dad, we combed the whole fucking place practically, you know, but it's vast. So there's probably a lot of pockets that hold deer that I'm not aware of.
Right.
And now when I scouted it was 10 years ago. You know,
it's time to regroup.
I was a 24-year-old drunk dipshit. You know, now it would be a totally different perspective.
Yeah. Things are changing every year because different groups of guys are going in there. They're using it differently. It'd be worth a scout a couple days in advance.
So I don't know. I would like to try to do that. I've always wanted to get up there to bow hunt early, and because it's the place where we go is not bow huntable until the week before a gun. And last season was the first time I actually ran into other bow hunters, and I don't know that they were in the right area or doing the right things. I'm not sure. There's a couple of them.
Sure.
But, you know, like, oh, did you see anything? No. Okay. Well, I know there. I'm not going to tell you. They're back there.
Yeah, they're in there.
And public land's hard. I don't know. A lot of folks, I mean, most people listening to this show know is a public land enthusiast podcast. Not to hate on private land. It's just not what I hunt. So I don't know enough about it. But I know that comes with its own challenges. But public land, man, is no freaking joke. It is difficult. You never know who's been there, who's going to be there. None of that stuff. We do have Kyle's going to join us.
Cool.
Hey, Kyle, what's going on, buddy?
What's going on, guys?
Howdy.
Look at this video thing, huh? I don't know why I'm just gonna hang up on the phone thing. I don't know what's going on there. We're gonna end that.
I just need to figure out the volume situation here.
It sounds good.
Okay, I can barely hear you guys, but whatever. That's all right.
Yeah. So, dude, what's going on?
It's been a struggle year, but you just gotta power through it. It is what it is. So just rock and roll through it. Just kind of, like Greg and you were talking about, it just, some things work and some things don't. Most of the time there's always wrong place, wrong time, but it is what it is. It's always a learning curve, and it's just been one of those years, but we've had success with guys in our program, so I'll count that as a win and move on from there.
Yeah, anytime you can get a new guy out, or a guy that maybe hasn't had as much experience out there, and he tastes a little bit of success or gets to at least see a deer for the first time, I got to believe that's more fuel for the fire, and he'll want to keep coming back.
Oh, for sure. I mean, even just the experience of just seeing, on their faces and everything, or just the reason, mentoring somebody new and taking somebody out. And that's, the big thing. I, late season, I went and walked a couple of properties with a couple of guys on their own private properties, and just kind of sorting some stuff out for, coming spring and next summer on how to approach different things. And I'm not going to lie, I walked some good properties that have a lot of good signs. So, I told them we'll just keep coming back, revisiting the property, every once in a while, seeing what the signs looking like and everything. But there's deer around, that's for sure. But
that's encouraging.
For sure.
These guys are going to pass you up in no time by the sounds of it.
Hey, let's not talk like that.
Hey, thanks for showing me. Okay, I got it now, man. We're good.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. But
the point it's not too, like, the on ramp can be pretty quick. Like, once you get the taste of it, you start to pile through a lot of the basics, and then it's this fine tuning stuff that we're always talking about, where it's like, what else can I be doing, or whatever, right?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, and it's, it's the thing that kind of keeps us coming back, every year. And it's, if you were, whatever, batting 500, going out every single time, shooting everything you went out, would it really be that fun? Or would it, like you said, the chances of going back, seeing deer, but they're not in the right area, or, you don't have the right shot at it. It's what brings you back and keeps you going crazy.
Yeah, that's the fun part. That's the cat and mouse part, where it's like, that's the challenge, where you're like, oh man, it's so close. So you're pissed, but you're like intrigued, and you're ready to, like, step back into the plate and be like, I'm gonna figure it out next time. Now I know more, and you can just keep carrying it on. Like I was talking with Greg earlier, he has started to compound his knowledge of a very particular piece of land, and it's only a matter of time before he's on these bucks every single year, when he literally learns specifically where the big ones are bedding. You got it mostly narrowed down, but you're just right there.
Just right off the edge by either 60 to 160 yards. Yep. I could have had more venison if I would have sat 100 yards closer. And then, a couple of weeks ago, if I would have been 60 yards closer to that area, it would have been, money. Would have been right in it.
And Kyle, for those that don't know, real quick, Ardent Archers, what do you got going on over there? What's your plans for the 2021 year?
Yeah, no.
So 2021 season, we're right now visiting with a handful of companies in the industry, getting some sponsors lined up and everything for the year. Myself, I drew a turkey tag for Wisconsin, and then 2 of our vets also drew tags. So we're definitely getting the approach going into the spring season here. HHA's talking to Chris and everything, has just been phenomenal guy to work with, and company. We're going to get a handful of our vets this year going out to the HHA shoots, so we can not necessarily focus this year on all hunting aspects for a lot of our individuals that have gone through the program, but introduce them to 3D archery. So then that way they can still be shooting year round. And, you know, if, you know, let's admit it, you know, going out hunting all the time takes time. You have to have, you know, the right gear and everything like that. So for newer individuals, it can be harder. But 3D archery, I mean, all you need to do is really go to a range and take the gear you have and show up. So just giving them, you know, a new aspect into the sport to get them integrated into something. And then just still being out there shooting and, you know, the clearing your mind, being able to just have fun and, you know, enjoy the sport.
Hell yeah. Well, I mean, those archery shoots are real confidence builders, real community builders. They're a ton of fun.
They are. They're a lot of fun, and you meet some great people there. And you know, you're doing the right thing by talking with Chris Ham of HHA. I mean, just a salt of the earth human being, and really cares a lot about the vets. And awesome person.
He puts his money where his mouth is, like, quite literally. You know what I mean?
Right.
He puts on the events. It's awesome.
Yep.
Oh, for sure. And you know, like, I feel bad this year because I know he was trying to ramp it up with a lot more indoor shoots and stuff like that, but it is what it is. You know, everybody's rolling on, and I've you know, talked to him and he feels bad about it, but everybody's just rolling with the punches right now. I mean, at this point,
you got to be responsible, and that's what he's doing. You know, there's plenty of people that still don't believe in it. There's people that have been affected by it. My family's been affected by it. I know a lot of people at work have been affected by it, and it's no joke. And I know I wouldn't feel great about, you know, maybe I don't have any problems with the virus, but I bring it to somebody that does, and then all of a sudden their grandmother gets sick and they die.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you don't know that unless you know the person real well, but it's always a possibility. I wouldn't be real.
No, he's done a good
happy
job of
about it.
accommodating for that.
Yeah.
At least in the last year. We went to the one in Stevens Point, and you know,
Everything was great there.
everyone did good.
Mhm.
Our wives allowed us to go.
Yeah.
We followed.
How many vets did you mentor this year?
So this year we ran 5 Wisconsin vets and then 10 Minnesota vets.
Oh, wow.
I was mainly responsible for the 5 in Wisconsin.
Okay.
And out of the 5, we had 1 8-point was shot, what we individual thought was a doe, but ended up being a little spike, and another took a doe. So we went 3 for 5.
That's not bad.
Yeah, so it wasn't horrible. The Minnesota side, out of 10, I want to say 4 of them, 4 successfully took. There were 2 bucks taken, and then 2 does. So
that's a big deal for first-time hunters, man. Like, they must have just been so freaking jacked.
Oh yeah, and they weren't little baskets. They were all the bucks that were taken there were 3 8-pointers and 1 6-point. So they were great deer to, you know, yeah. Yep. So they were, I mean, great size animals and stuff like that for beginning guys. And unfortunately, none of our females were able to successfully take anything, but they still have the drive for it to go and everything like that. So it's just, you know, next year we're working on some properties around the area and stuff like that with some farmers to see if we can go on don't only hunts and everything like that, just to try to get some, you know, more opportunities out there rather than necessarily chase antlers. But
sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's been fun.
Cool.
That's good. Thanks for sharing, man. And thanks for popping in here like this. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely definitely something new for me, but
oh, good.
We'll definitely have to catch up, and we'll talk to you guys soon.
Absolutely.
Right.
Thanks, buddy.
All right. Take it easy, guys.
Bye.
Looks like his little one was tugging at his leg there at the end.
Yeah.
I know how it goes. Believe
Dad,
me.
what are you doing?
My son unplugged the router. Like, let's just, life goes on.
Yeah.
It's real life for everybody. That's good. No, for those that don't know, Kyle is with Ardent Archers. If you want to go follow those guys, they do a lot for like getting vets into hunting, and they do a lot of hunter education and training and like archery shoots, and they do a lot of giveaways and partner with some good brands like HHA is one of them.
Yeah.
So super cool organization. Good dude.
And you and I talk to him quite often.
Yeah. He gave me the phone that's sitting behind you to, quiet down our studio.
It's awesome.
Which is really nice.
Mm-hmm.
I finally put it up. I still have a couple more bags of it. Actually, I just don't know what to do with all of it.
Right.
Maybe I should put some on the ceiling.
Well, we know this room is not going to stay a podcast studio for
Forever.
Long.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Yep. Well, everybody, I don't know if anyone else wants to jump in here. It looks like Cameron Thomas said one thing he won't make the mistake of next year is not passing up on the deer early season when you have them patterned before you hit the lull. What's funny about that is, we're going to start up Tactic Talk again later this year as we get closer to the season, but
July, August, probably.
All of my early episodes of Tactic Talk, like go check those out if you guys haven't heard them, because those were very granular, tactical episodes from people that have proven success of putting down big mature whitetails. And a lot of the guys that I interviewed early season were saying just that: get them while they're patterned, while there's no pressure.
You know what I might do this year instead of taking off time during the rut?
Let's take it early.
I might
suffer through the mosquitoes. And
I'm really considering it.
Yeah.
Look, we were going to take a week to go elk hunting.
Mm-hmm.
That's not happening.
Mm-hmm.
Why not?
Yeah.
Nobody else does
food
it.
to bed, bed to food to bed. No pressure. Literally, like no other hunting
Very
pressure.
little.
And they haven't been pressured.
No.
So like when you talk about the patternability of it, it's good. Cameron, definitely check it out. Like it's in our RSS. So wherever you get our podcast, scroll back to, July, August, September of 2020, and you're going to find yourself some good episodes. And they're only 15 minutes long. So
they're quick, to the bone, good content. Not a lot of yucking it up like we're doing now.
There's no yucking it up.
No,
zero.
It's
not
to
even
the
like an
bone.
intro.
No, here it is. Boom. Take a listen. Rewind. Take a listen again.
Yep.
It's good.
I'm excited to do another season of Tactic Talk also.
Yeah. I mean, we could revisit some other people, revisit the guests that you had, and maybe even find a couple more new ones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's plenty of people that have gotten it done. When we talk to everybody, we're not like staunchy or like stuck up. I think again with the call-in feature, you guys, I'm sorry that the number's not working tonight. I don't know what happened there. I'm guaranteed. I know what happened there. My son unplugged router, but we want to hear from you guys, the collective audience of the hunting public population of people,
right,
carry more knowledge than any one individual quote unquote expert. And we talk to those guys too, but I think if we can hear from everybody on the show and start to really get this dialogue going, click the video, jump in with us.
Yeah.
Call the number, jump in with us.
You're on our level. Trust me. We love talking to everyday guys and gals that go out and hunt.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're here for.
We all got something to teach and learn, and everyone has something to offer. So
absolutely.
Just like Kyle, man, he just talked about what he went through this season, and what he's doing, right?
Yeah. What he's doing is phenomenal. I love it.
Yep. Totally agree. That's a wrap, I think, for today's show. I'm having issues with video. It's this, what is this called? A docking USB port thing. It's the hardware on my Mac. So the fix for that is I got to buy a new one of those things and see if a different brand will be better. So right now it's just my face and Greg's sitting across from me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd have to keep messing around with that. And yeah, I don't know. Thanks to Spartan Forge for sponsoring the number in the video chat. Like we were
the number that didn't work
for the first time ever.
Sorry, Bill.
The one night it's supposed to work. But Jeff Genke called us last week for the first time ever. Kyle called us tonight for the first time ever, and that was through the video. And thank you to Spartan Forge for sponsoring that.
Thank you.
That's awesome. Again, their code is W2H for 20% off. If you want to check them out, SpartanForge.ai. And that's it, folks. We're going to end the live feed. Thanks for tuning in tonight. If you got anything for us, let us know. Housekeeping items, giveaways coming up at the end of March. We'll start to identify probably, end of February, what's going to be on the table for the giveaway there. If you haven't heard of our giveaway or participated in, I know everyone that's participating is not telling anybody about it because they keep winning and they want it all themselves, you greedy bastards. But you can go to wheretohuntapp.com and you can click on the giveaways page. You can check that out. So it's pretty
That is
cool.
through our Patreon giveaway.
That's right. You got to be a subscriber to Patreon to get into that.
Yep. So you got to be one of our Patreon subscribers in order to take advantage of the giveaway.
And we don't ask much. We ask for $5 a month, and we use that money to buy the stuff that we get. Some brands give things and throw it in. Other brands give us a discount. Some brands, nothing at all. T&K Hunting Gear, we've given away 2 of their products. We just bought them.
Yeah, we reached out to him and we purchased them.
In fact, they did throw in an extra vinyl harness.
That's pretty awesome.
So that was cool. They did that for Noah Spillman. He won the T&K like bow sling.
Tyler Kath is a pretty good guy.
He's a badass, man.
Yep.
And then they're like, "Hey, can we throw this thing in?" I was like, "Yes." You sure can. I mean, I'm not getting it. By the way, I'm sad that I'm not getting half the stuff we're giving away.
I know we give away some really cool gear. Yeah, a bow sling.
I want a saddle.
Yeah. Well, we'll keep working at it. Maybe someday we'll afford it.
Yep. So anyways, thanks for tuning in tonight, guys, gals. Appreciate it. And, again, we go live every Tuesday, so we want to hear from you. This video chat thing is new. Bear with us as we kind of work through the kinks, and that's it.
Yep. Keep it between the ditches. We'll see you.
See you.